Okay, number 2 in our daily sketchbook paintings, we have a little picture of us looking through some windows. Alright, so I really am just going to go ahead and fast forward through a lot of this and skip it. This just follows the 1-point perspective rules, and it was a lot of little details with the window seals, so I wanted to make sure I literally sketched out everything first. When it comes to anything perspective, I like to make it pretty perfect, and for the most part I did like this picture, but the paper had warped just a little bit, so it made some things not as straight, and it kind of drives me crazy. But that's what a sketchbook is for, so whatever. Okay, and here we are. I just love sketching perspective. Ignoring the mess on my glass palette, we're gonna slap down some titanium white. And because this is a sketchbook painting, I'm using cheaper paints, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some Folkart. Floop. Oh. Well, I hate when that happens. That's okay, I found this handy dandy frother mixer thing off of Amazon. I have no idea, but it is a lifesaver for any artist. Just make sure you don't still leave it on whenever you take it out of the paint container. Okay, let's grab some blue and mix it all together. Okay, I believe this is a 1/2 inch flat brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the sky. Okay, now I'm taking a rounder, fluffier brush, and I'm taking just a little bit of white, and I'm mixing it in with that still wet paint to really help with that sky color. Okay, gotta make sure that we really prepare that wooden window. I really don't feel like losing the pencil sketches underneath all the scribble of paints. Taking just a little bit of that sky blue, mixing it with the brown and some green. That's gonna get me my base grass color. Okay, so I know it's really shiny, but I am taking a thinner, fluffier brush, and I'm dabbing on just a little bit of lighter green to give the illusion of bushes in the background. And you'll see me zoom in here in just a minute. Apologies for the highlights of the paint. I'm not quite sure how to get rid of that or balance that out, so if anyone else has any great suggestions, I would absolutely love to hear them. And of course now I'm going to dip into some darker green, but I'm not doing too much contrast between the shadows and the darks because the background bushes aren't going to be the main focus. I'm going to put huge bushes and trees right there up front. So I'm not putting too much detail and or thought into this. Alright, let's grab ourselves some green. Grabbing some of that brown again. Alright, now I'm going to grab a really skinny but fluffy brush, take some of that dark green, and I'm going to start the base color for the two trees that I want outside the window. Okay, so this awkward little section right here is actually going to be a huge bush off to the side. I'm just putting down that base color as well. Okay, so what I'm really using this burnt umber for is the darkest part of the shadows, so I'm actually mixing that with a lot of the dark green, and I'm not using a lot of it at all. Okay, now on to one of my most favorite part is adding the highlights. So I'm starting off with a pretty medium green because then I'm just going to keep layering it with lighter greens to get where I want to go. And you can see already against that dark burnt umber and the dark green, those highlighted leaves are sticking out. And yes, I'm doing even more highlights. Oh, this is a satisfying part for most artists as well. Peeling off that paint and getting that perfect crisp edge. As much as I love painting foliage, yeah. We're moving on now to the wood, aka the banister. I'm using some of that brown and some of that white to get those shadows and highlights and just the perfect color I am looking for. So for the most part, I'm not really going to be talking for this part because you can just watch it. But I am keeping in mind, as the sunlight comes through the window, what is it hitting first? This is really about understanding shadows. So I hope that this gives you a pretty good idea, and if you already know about it, then just enjoy. Okay, so right now I am painting the reflections on the windows, which I will continue to go over later in the painting. This part right here is going to be the darkest part of the wood because the sunlight doesn't directly hit this part. Okay, so I am going to take a little bit of Mars Black and mix it with the raw umber to get a really darker shade again because I wasn't happy with my previous darker shade, and I'm going to fill in all the shadow areas. Okay, I'm just going to keep in mind my lights and my shadows, and I'm just going to go ahead and keep painting away. Try not to add too much water, which apparently I was doing. Yeah, enjoy. Alright, so I actually wanted my surrounding wood to have just a touch of red, so I grabbed some crimson, I grabbed some burnt umber, and I'm gonna mix that together and start painting the back wood, I guess, keeping in mind the lights and the shadows. And yes, that's a different brand of burnt umber. I couldn't find my other one. Whatever. Okay, so because I use this so much, I actually have a bottle of white that's mixed with a lot of matte medium. It's just a really transparent white because I like to add shines or glass to things like this. And so that's actually what this is. It's just a very transparent white that I'm building up to create a glass effect. Ugh, this part is just so satisfying and— ah! No! Okay, we fixed it. Maybe. Come on. And satisfying. Yes. Oh, that was so much better. Okay, another sketchbook painting in the bag. Thank you for joining me. I hope you liked it. Of course, like, subscribe, all that goodness I'm probably forgetting. It'll appease the YouTube gods, don't worry. And I will see you all in whatever next video I do.